Coming up on Mountain News at 6, one person is seriously hurt after a shooting in Southwest Virginia. And some flood survivors in Perry County are one step closer to normalcy nearly 2 years after the July 2022 flood.
And high pressure, our nice fair weather friend, is in control, and it's going to stay in control for a little bit, but we have rain and thunderstorm chances in the forecast. We'll talk about that in a few minutes.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News at 6.
In Southwest Virginia, police responded to a shooting in the St. Paul community. The incident happened on the 5700 block of Creek Hill Road, and we just learned new details about it. A person who was the focus of a child sex crime investigation entered a home where they temporarily barred. The 2 shots were fired according to the news release we just received. One person was flown out by helicopter for treatment of serious injuries. And we just learned that Lauren Forst of St. Paul has been charged with 2 counts of indecent liberties with a minor and 2 counts of sodomy. A Wolfe County man is facing charges after he reportedly shot at a truck. The incident happened last Friday at Wolf Lake in Campton. After a woman gave a written statement to police, they spoke to witnesses who were there at the time of the incident. Police then went to Justin Haddock's home and asked if he had a weapon in his vehicle. According to the arrest citation, Haddock told police he fired a warning shot toward the truck. Haddock was taken to the Three Forks Regional Jail. A Middlesboro man is in jail after he reportedly strangled a woman. It happened on Tuesday at an assisted living facility on 504 South 24th Street in Middlesboro. Police say it all started when a staff member told Paul Mulholland he needed to wash his hair. Mulholland then threatened staff members, saying he was going to kill them. Police discovered the woman that Mulholland grabbed by her throat and neck had red marks. Mulholland was taken to the Bell County Detention Center.
We had temperatures today in the mid-80s, some places very close to 90. Live pinpoint Doppler radar right now showing a clean sweep across the area, and we can give this a break as we go into tomorrow and into the weekend. We're seeing a mixture of sun and clouds out there, more sun than clouds at this hour, and temperatures right now not bad. 89 in Manchester, 85 in London, 88 in Somerset, 86 in Williamsburg. Wise is at 79. 84 is the current temperature in Pikeville. We're sitting at 86 in Hazard. The next 12 hours keeps temperatures in the mid to upper 70s by the time you join us tonight at 11, 68 by the 5 o'clock hour, 67 by 7 a.m. So when you wake up in the morning, temperatures in the 50s and 60s will be the rule. We'll see clear skies for the overnight hours. Plenty of sunshine will be in store for tomorrow as well as the weekend, but the 90 degrees make a comeback, and we'll talk about that in the first forecast in a few minutes. Olivia.
Eric, thank you. Real quick, we just want to make a correction. The name of the person that was charged in the Virginia incident was Lauren Frost of St. Paul. Multiple fire departments out of Letcher County and multiple fire departments are chipping in to help with community in the mountains. Officials say the Gordon, Sand Lake, and Letcher volunteer fire departments are adding to their coverage areas. This agreement was reportedly made to help out the Kings Creek Fire Department. Now, earlier today, officials with the Kings Creek Volunteer Fire Department told WYMT the fire department is not closed and that they are still responding to calls. Officials with Perry County, the Natural Resources Conservation Service, and homeowners are celebrating as the NRCS provided the first Perry Countyans with home buyout checks. WYMT's Madison Carmouche has more from the exciting day.
After the historic July 2022 flood, many Eastern Kentuckians are still picking up the pieces. But on Thursday, Ronald and Patricia Gent closed one chapter in their rebuilding journey.
That's a big lift. It's been a long time. Been frustrating. But yeah, it's good to get rid of it.
The couple received a check for their home from the Natural Resources Conservation Services Home Buyout Program.
This was a brand new program. We didn't offer a program exactly like this. In the past, it came as a result of the July 2022 flood event here.
Approximately $125 million was split among more than 500 applicants for the NRCS to address each family's unique buyout situation.
Everyone's story is completely different. We tend to get to hear the story of what they went through. It's a very emotional process. You never know what we're going to hear or learn about. It's been pretty crazy to hear some of the stories of what these people went through.
When families receive their NRCS buyout check, they are immediately able to deposit the funds and change their current living arrangement.
You know, you live 2 miles ahead of a holler, you never think something like this is going to happen. And it may not ever happen again, but you never know.
The gents say while the process is taxing, they hope those still waiting are able to remember the light at the end of the tunnel.
No, you can't give up.
No, you have to have patience. A lot of patience.
And they're good to work with. They take care of you.
Yeah.
Can't complain every bit.
The couple says they are excited to live a debt-free life with help from the buyout check. In Perry County, Madison Carmouche, WYMT Mountain News.
Officials with the NRCS say there will be at least 10 more homes bought within the next week and more than 80 by the end of next year. Nearly 2 years since flooding devastated eastern Kentucky, help continues to arrive to rebuild the hardest hit communities. In Breathitt County, volunteers are repairing homes. Lorinia Henson was one of many homeowners having to make repairs on the inside and outside of her home. That's where Appalachian Service Project stepped in. The Tennessee-based organization's mission is to make homes safer, drier, and warmer for the people in the Appalachian region this week.
The main goal of our ministry is to share life with people, and Appalachian Service Project allows for that to happen.
Traveling all the way from Michigan, volunteers with Newburgh United Methodist Church are helping to add new siding to Henson's home, fix her porch, and build new ramps. Congressman Hal Rogers is pushing for 15 projects to be funded next year, devoted to everything from emergency response to drug abuse prevention. WYMT's Buddy Forbes has more from Pikeville, where one of those projects would plant a new police station.
The Pikeville Police Department is hoping for a new headquarters.
We love our little department, but that is kind of what it is. It's sort of small, and it was built 31 years ago in 93 for a department probably about half the size as what we're operating now.
Plans have been in the making for years as repairs to the decades-old building continue and space remains an issue.
As time has gone on and we've had some like leaks and just some other issues, it's becoming a high maintenance building, and we realize that we can keep doing work to it, but those problems are just going to keep building up.
So the city requested funding to build a new headquarters on the current property.
We felt like it was important to get them into a new facility with more space for meetings, but especially the evidence room.
With evidence piling up and little room to accommodate the growing department.
Sometimes those cases take a long time to get closed, and we have to house that stuff for a long time. So just things like that, just having more room to work.
Congressman Hal Rogers' office reported nearly $4 million could be allocated to the project through the 2025 Community Project funding. One of 15 items approved by the House of Appropriations, which will now move on to the House for full approval.
We can make it work, but we think we'd be more efficient and probably could do our jobs a little bit better and probably give us even greater potential to work out of a newer, maybe better sized department.
Leaving the department hopeful for a better building. In Pikeville, Buddy Forbes, WYMT Mountain News.
Chief Riddle says he hopes to see the funding go through, adding that the department will continue to serve and protect, even if it has to continue working in its current space. Another project included in the 15 items Congressman Hal Rogers is rallying behind can also be found in Pikeville. If approved, the city of Pikeville will receive $6 million to build a new building at the Kentucky Enterprise Industrial Park, which city officials say would benefit the entire region. City manager Reggie Hickman says the idea is to bring in new businesses to help provide opportunities and bring more jobs to join Wright Companies and Appalachian Tanks Inc. at the park.
Well, we'd like to add another 100 jobs up there in the next few months, next few years. Probably months would be a little quick, but we're very optimistic that we can land a couple of companies to come up there, but we have to be ready.
The money is not fully approved, but officials say they are hopeful knowing it has passed through the House of Appropriations. The Pike County Fiscal Court discussed plans for rebuilding the Greasy Creek Community Center after it caught fire last week. Officials say arson is suspected in the case and a person of interest has been identified. The fire is still being investigated. During that meeting on Tuesday, Judge Executive Ray Jones said the county is determined to replace the community space. The county is working on proposals now to find the best option moving forward. In Campbell County, Tennessee, a funeral home that has been in business for more than a century is assessing damage after it caught fire yesterday. Cox & Son Funeral Home was established in 1910 and sits along 5th Street in Jellicoe since 1956. One of the funeral home's owners, Wilma Cox, said yesterday the building is likely not salvageable. Another owner of the funeral home says it feels like he lost a close family member.
Well, I do feel very much today like times where I've experienced the loss of close family members. One is just disbelief, bewilderment. You know, of course, we had no plan for anything like this. I guess people should.
No one was hurt in the fire, and we will have more about this tonight at 11. Kentucky State Police are detailing a months-long investigation in an effort to crack down on suspected drug trafficking rings. So far, state police have arrested more than 200 people across the state, taking more than $600,000 in drugs off the streets. In part of Governor Andy Beshear's Team Kentucky briefing today, KSP Commissioner was there and discussed the ongoing effort to combat drug trafficking. They have made more than 200 arrests.
Preliminary results from this operation indicate a significant removal of illegal drugs from our community.
State police rounded up thousands of grams of meth, fentanyl, cocaine, heroin, and more. Commissioner Burnett says he hopes this operation sends a strong message to offenders and allows Kentuckians to sleep a little better at night, with hundreds more now facing prosecution.
Temperatures today were in the 80s across the area. The warming trend will continue as we go throughout the weekend. Details on the First Alert forecast in just a few minutes. Stay with us.
Visit